Bentonville is arguably one of the most famous mountain bike towns in America. Countless YouTubers like No Front Brakes, Seth's Bike Hacks, and Single Track Sampler have traveled there to ride possibly some of the best public trails around. But how does a small town like Bentonville afford to have professionally built trails? Well, Walmart money. But we'll get to what that means and all the stuff that Walmart has to do with Bentonville in a little bit. Woo! So let's take a few steps back to Wednesday morning, where we packed up the car and took a trip down to Bentonville for a family vacation. It's really just an excuse to ride bikes. When we got there, we got out of the car, unpacked, and checked out our Airbnb that we would be staying in for the rest of the week. We were surprised. This place was really nice for only $100 a night. You would think that in such a populated and famous town, they would make the Airbnbs way overpriced. But people of Bentonville actually have a pretty cheap prices on it so that they can attract more tourism. While everybody took their time unpacking, I basically just threw everything on the floor so that I could go ride my bike. I've already found a jump, baby. I went exploring about 200 yards away from the house and found that there was a mountain bike trail pretty much in our backyard. So while everybody else was busy unpacking, I was sessioning this jump and doing one-footers. I did an ET and, well, I maybe got a bit overconfident. Yep, I did a no-footer. This is my first ever time even attempting a no-footer, and it only took me a few tries to learn. After that, we rode the All-American Trail into town to check out Fat Tire Bike Shop and to sort of find out what Walmart money really means. Yeah! Oh my gosh. This is awesome! Oh my gosh. We arrived at Fat Tire Bike Shop, and I prepared to interview one of the workers. What does Walmart have to do with Bentonville?
Walmart, so the family love to ride bikes. Some of the Walton family love to ride bikes, and I think that's one of the reasons why they have invested in the community, and they have a foundation called the Walton Family Foundation that helps just pump money into good causes like making it for a healthy community and getting people riding bikes. That, you know, they're partners, and they don't do it all, but they're a big reason why this area has become such a tourist attraction, because they help promote it, and it costs money to build trails. It costs a lot of money to build trails, especially if they're trails that are going to draw people from 100 miles away or 1,000 miles away. And that's what we see are people coming from Florida and Chicago and Texas and all over the place coming here to ride bikes.
After talking to him for a bit, it was already time to eat dinner. So we headed over to Flying Fish to see if the food in Bentonville is just as great as the riding. After that, me and my dad headed out to ride some trails. The first trail we rode was All American, which is a trail that starts practically in the middle of town. The jumps were so smooth and super effortless. You just floated over over them. Into the berms as far and hard as you want because they're super grippy and you're not gonna slide. Woo! The next morning we woke up and we met up with Grayson. Grayson's dad is actually one of the dudes behind all of this stuff that happens in Bentonville. He works in between the Walton Foundation and the trail builders to help make sure that they're doing their job and everything's going smoothly. So it's no surprise that his son is a crazy good rider. You can check out his Instagram to see just a few of the other crazy things that he does on his bike. But before we met up with Grayson, we rode our bikes over to the Choo Choo Trail, which is the one that has a million berms.
I like our trail.
But sadly, my camera didn't record, so we don't have any footage of it. Then we climbed back up and we rode the Boo Boo Trail down to the bottom. Jumping. We needed a lot of speed for these jumps, and I did not have enough speed, so I cased pretty much all of them. But that's okay because I was riding some of the best pros in the world. Here's the drop. Whoa.
Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Got to the bottom and we were as stoked as ever. We met up with Grayson and he wanted to show us the boneyard, which is essentially what it sounds like. A yard that if you do crash in, you will probably have a lot of broken bones.
I don't mean to scare you, but one of my friends, he started up there and he just rolled down and had his brakes on. And he nose cased the landing and fell back.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me.
He was okay, but we were like, you need to let go of your brakes, but...
I ain't doing it. All right, Grayson. Oh man.
We rode a bit farther on the greenway and Grayson showed us the bike playground of Slaughter Pen. I immediately knew what I had to do. I had to at least conquer the small box. Woo! After going off this small drop, I felt pretty confident and I was eyeing up the bigger drop next to it. So while my dad was holding his breath, I was actually considering this drop. And luckily I had Grayson, probably one of the best kid riders around, to tow me into it. Oh yeah!
Oh!
After riding many more trails, before we knew it, the second day had already come to an end. So while waving Grayson goodbye, we had a whole nother 2 days of amazing riding to look forward to. To make sure that you don't miss out on part 2, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so that you do not miss that episode. In fact, here's a little sneak peek. Anyway, don't forget to go to Mountain Bike Shed or Take a Hike Shop. And if you're not in the St. Louis area, you can head over to takeahikeshop.com. But you know what to do. Shred for life. Peace!